Well, hello, 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 and good evening, my crafty friends. This is Caron. I am your independent demonstrator here, Stampin' Up demonstrator, here in beautiful Austin, Texas. And I am here tonight to share with you. I would love to welcome you in the craft room with Caron, you guys. This is me, and here we are having some fun. We're going to have some fun in the craft room tonight. However, I just wanted you guys to be aware this is the cover of the new soon to be January through April 2024 mini catalog. Y'all, I cannot share with you the inside of the catalog until the 4th of January when the catalog goes live, unfortunately, but I can share with you the cover. If you would love to get your hands on a copy of the catalogs, both the mini catalog and the celebration catalog, and you do not have a demonstrator, I would love to get your catalog to you. Tonight is the last night for you to get an order in if you are not currently a VIP customer of mine and have placed an order with me in the last 90 days. Tonight will be the last night for you to go ahead, place an order of $35 or more, and get yourself on my list so that you can get a copy of both of these catalogs sent directly to you from Stampin' Up. Anyway, thank you guys again. Hey, if you're new to my channel, thank you for popping in. Welcome. While you're at it, please like this video, share this video, invite your other friends to join you, and don't forget to subscribe while you're at it. If you're a returning stamper friend of mine, hey guys, welcome back, and let's get started. If you are on my Facebook page and on my customer list, you would have seen that I posted the measurements for tonight's card. And tonight, you guys, we are making a wiper card. This video is going to be in concert with the Stampin' with Friends blog hop. So make sure you check for the blog post that's dated Saturday, December 2nd. Measurements, additional measurements, and maybe some instructions will be there in that blog as well. All right, so let's just dig in, and I just do need to tell you that, look, I have not done this card fold before. It's brand new to me, and let me tell you, I was a little bit late today just because I was watching videos up until the last moment trying to make sure that I got it right, and I still don't have it right. So just bear with me, and we're going to work through this together. I see someone is watching me. Please say hello. Let me know where you're from. Interacting with me gets you entry into the drawing to win to get tonight's cards. So let's get started. What we're going to need, of course, is we're going to need our trimmer because we got to get some stuff trimmed down, okay? And I took the liberty, the measurements that we posted, and these might change just a little bit because I've changed up some of the designer series papers and so on and so forth that I was working with. So this might change. But these basic elements, measurements will not change. For your card base, you're going to need a piece of cardstock that is 4 1/4 by 8 1/2. Now, I'm going to be using tonight cherry cobbler and some shaded spruce because I'm going to make a Christmas card here. And I'm going to use some retired designer series paper from Stampin' Up. And it's from the, let me see if I can remember. It's from the Wrapped in Plaid specialty paper 6x6, and this was a couple seasons ago. I don't see a date on here, so I can't remember. I don't remember. But I love this cardstock. I think it's beautiful, and I'm just going to go with the plaids on this one. Now the stamp set, again, I'm trying stuff out. I'm going to use another retired stamp set, you guys, and I'm going to use this one. Hopefully it works with the design, and it's called Christmas in the Making. We'll see. We might have to do some adjustments, but who knows. All right, so for tonight, our card base is going to be our cherry cobbler piece, okay? So the cherry cobbler piece is our card base, and we're going to use the shaded spruce for our matting, okay? So our card base, if you remember the instructions, again, it's 8.5 by 4.25. Our cardstock is already 8.5 by 11, so we're just going to make sure that we keep this at 8.5, and we're going to cut a piece that is 4.25. Okay, so we're just going to put this in our track, in our trimmer, line it up at 4.25, and we're going to take our cutting blade and cut. So we now have our piece that is 4.25 by, I have my little back support here, 4.25 by 8.5. Now we're also going to need another piece that is 2 inches by 8.5. So we're just going to go ahead and cut that while we're here. Now, one thing that we could have done as well is we could have made our score marks because they're going to be in the same place. But I didn't want to do that tonight. I wanted just to cut separate pieces for you. So we're going to line this up at the 1.5 inch mark. Okay. So here's our 1 inch mark, 1.25, and here is our 2 inch line. Okay. Can always use the trimmer blade, but I definitely do love to go in with our little tools. And then we're going to do the other score mark at 3. Okay. So it's 1.5 and 3 is where our score marks are. Okay. I'm going to flip it over and do the same thing. Score on our 3 inch mark. And then score on the 1.5 inch mark. We're going to do the same thing on the 4.25 side. We're going to line this up on the 8.5. That's not right. I think I cut my paper. Did I cut the wrong thing? All right, let's cut this again. 4.25. And we'll make sure that this is 8.5, okay? All right, so this is our 8.5, right? So we're going to do the same thing, and we're going to score at 3 inches and 1.5 inches. Alright, so we're going to score at 3 inches. And 1.5 inches. I hope everyone had a good Thanksgiving. I certainly did. It was very relaxing. Very peaceful. I went to my sister's. I ate a lot. And of course, you know, I'm on a health journey, and let me tell you, I was pretty proud of myself. Despite the amount of food I ate, which was a bit. I really only gained about a pound, you guys. I think that's incredible. Don't you? Anyway, so there we go. We have our card base complete. So let's get these score lines folded. Or burnished, okay? So this is going to be like a W fold or a little bit of a Z fold. And we're going to want the scores on our card base to be on the right hand side, and the score lines on our other side to be on the left hand side. Okay, so just keep that in mind. So first thing, we're going to fold towards the valley, and then we're going to score toward burnish towards the mountain. Okay. And we want to have good burnish lines, right? So we'll have something like that. And then we're going to do the same thing. Okay. Then we're going to burnish these folds very well. I should have got all my cut lines completed. Wait, I did that wrong. There we go. So this is kind of what you want to have on this side, okay? I had it the wrong way to start with. Okay, so let's burnish that anew. Make sure our folds go the right way. So we have our base. We'll put that aside. And now we're going to need our designer series paper, okay? And we're going to need a piece that is 5 1/4 by 1 3/4. And where is that? Here we go. So we're going to bring our trimmer back in. Now, here's where we're going to make a little bit of decisions here. So I want this, I think I want this guy to be the cardstock on the back. Ooh, which do you like? Do you like this or this? I think I love this one. So I want this to be here on the inside. And I'm just kind of talking through what I think I'm wanting to have happen in my cardstock, okay? And then I'm going to have this, like so. And then I'm going to have this pattern. I'm going to have this pattern that's here and here. Maybe it's too much red. I think I'm going to do that. Yes, I think that's what I'm going to do. It's just hard trying to, ooh. Let's look at the paper pack again. You might want to make some other decisions based on cardstock, okay? I know those were the prints that I loved, but then looking at them, I'm like, well, maybe I want to do something else. So let's see what else we can do. I don't want it to be too dark. I mean, it's Christmas. Christmas is supposed to be happy, and I just want it to be a little bit light. So I'm keeping that in mind when I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do it with that one. Okay, so that's a change in plans. That's just how I work sometimes. All right, so we're going to need a piece of basic white or of designer series paper that is 5 1/4 by 1 3/4. Okay, So let's get that cut. Now, this is going to be here, I believe. So again, this is the pattern on direction on this one doesn't really, it's not directionally required. There's nothing there. So it doesn't really matter how I cut it. But I'm going to cut the 5 1/4 first. Actually, I'm going to change my mind. I'm going to cut the 1 3/4 here, like so. And then the 5 1/4, like so. Okay. Then it says I'm going to need 2 pieces. That is 1 3/4. It says it needs a piece that's 4 inches. So let's cut these pieces at 4 inches. By 1 1/4. One. That's 1. And I'm going to use this one as well. Let me put this away. And then I'm going to need 2 pieces. That's 1 1/4 by 1 3/4. So let's cut our 1 3/4. And we need one that's 1 1/4. And another that's 1 1/4. Okay. All right. So I'm gonna, while I have my trimmer out, I'm gonna grab a piece of cardstock and trim that to 5 1/4 by 4. Just trim our basic white while we're out there. And we need one that is 5 1/4 by 4. I might need a second piece of this one. When you can't read your own writing, that's a problem, right? That is a problem. All right. So why am I doing this? So I know this is going to go on the inside of my card, and so I'm not really wanting to waste a lot of cardstock. I love this paper, right? So we know that this is 5 1/4 wide, so I'm going to make this a little bit shorter and go what's 5 1/4? I'll make it, bring it down just 1/8. So that'll be 5 1/8. And I'm going to cut a piece that is 2 1/8. Let's just go 2 1/4 here. Okay. And then I think I'm going to need another piece of this. This is going to be 1 1/4, 4 by 1 1/4. And you guys, we haven't even got to the mechanism part yet. Alright, so let's let's try putting together some of this stuff that we've got cut already so we can see where we are and what's left to do. And there's quite a bit to do, okay? So here we go. Let's bring back our mechanism in here. Oops. So what we're going to do with this is, I could have cut this designer series paper. I could have cut this to the 5 1/4 by 4. 4 by 5 1/4. But you guys, that would be using a whole sheet of that paper that's going to be covered by this part. And I didn't want to do that. Okay, so I'm going to use, I just cut a 1/4 inch down, and this is what I'm going to attach to this basic white piece that's here. Okay, make sure we line this up a little bit. Now we just want a little bit of a border on each side, right? Make sure it's as even as we can get it. And then we're going to add this to the inside of our card. Okay, and then we're going to add this right to the inside of our card. All right, let's burnish that in a little bit so that our adhesive adheres properly. And there we go, right? So the next thing we're going to do is bring in this piece right here. And we're going to add this here, like so. We're going to add this here, like so. And then this, like so. Now, the other thing we can do, I mean, this can get pretty heavy if I layer and I layer and I layer. So I'm going to be a little careful with how much I'm layering, just a little bit. But I want to layer this whole piece right here. So I know I'm going to bring my trimmer back in. Now I'm going to need my shaded spruce cardstock. And we're going to do our layering pieces, right? So that piece is 5 1/4 by 1 3/4. All right, we're just gonna do an eighth, so we're gonna go 5 3/4, 5 3/8. I'm sorry. So it's gonna be 5 3/8 by 1 7/8 for our matte layer. Okay. We should have a perfect mat for this guy right here. Okay. And then we have two pieces that is 1 1/4 by 1 3/4. All right. So 1 3/4 is our biggest, so we're going to go 1 7/8 again. And then we're going to cut two pieces, 1 1/4, 1 3/8. So we need two pieces, that's 1 3/8. 1 and 2. Okay. I know I should have had some of this cut already, but sometimes it's important to do the cutting so that you guys can see the cutting. And I knew that I was going to make mistakes, you guys, tonight. And so the beauty of doing all of this is that maybe you're new to the craft and you think everybody's perfect to begin with, and I can guarantee you we are not. Even if we've been stamping for years and years and years, we all still make mistakes. And mistakes are not a problem. You learn from them, and sometimes from your mistakes you make beautiful cards as well. There's absolutely nothing called a mistake in card making. It's just a lesson or an opportunity to put a bird on something. That's what we call it, my friends and I, okay? All right, so here we go with these guys again. And we're going to map these. What did I do with my other piece there? It's somewhere over here. There it is. We're going to get these matted. I don't know. I love my liquid glue. Do we have any liquid glue fans versus tape guys in the mixed here? I actually have a friend that when she does her crafting, she uses glue sticks. Now that's kind of weird to me, but it's what her comfort level is. And so I say all that to tell you that in crafting, you sometimes don't need like the most expensive of things. You have to use what you have, and not just use what you have, but also make sure sometimes the inexpensive item works just as well, if not better. Just saying. Okay, so we know this is going to go here. So let's add this here. And line this up. Add our matte layer on like so. Then we're going to add the next one on like so. Whoops. Right, like that. And then we're going to add this piece like this. Okay. Perfect. All right. So before we add this, so here's what we got so far, y'all. Okay. So we have a piece that's like this and like this. So that's what we have so far. Okay. Our mechanism, and it's going to open like that. Okay. So now, sorry about that. We need to add, I want to add this here, and then I'm going to add this here. But again, it has to be matted, right? So now we have two pieces that's 1 1/4 by 4 that we now need to make 1 3/8 by 4 1/8, right? So let's see, we got 4 1/8 here. And then we need a piece. So we got 1 1/4 and add an 1/8, so 1 3/8. And then we have another that is 1 3/8. Again, don't worry about any of these measurements. I'm going to have the measurements for this particular design. You may not want to mat a lot. You may not want to mat at all. So then you won't need the additional pieces, okay? So it all depends on design. I like to layer a little bit, so I make sure I have my matting in my mind, okay? I'm excited about the new catalog that's coming out, y'all. Oh, and don't forget, while I'm doing this, we are in the midst of our last chance product sale just started. Those are items from the September to December mini. Some of them will be retiring, which means they won't be carrying over. We have a carryover list. Some of the bundles from the catalog that are carrying over, they do not carry over as a bundle, so you won't get the 10% discount for bundling the items, because that does not carry over into the new catalog. Okay. All right, so guys, here's something else that we could have done that I didn't think of before, right? So what I could have done here is, instead of having this piece go the entire length, I could have done a piece the same length of this one, which was 2 and 3/8, right? Because still, remember, we're gonna have this covered up. So we really could have done the same thing and carried this down as far as as far as it went, okay? But I didn't think about that before, so I cut it full length, and that's not an issue either. That's also fine. Okay. Then we're just gonna add this guy right here, like so. All right, you guys, now the next thing we have to do is we have to work on our mechanism. This is the part that I really I wasn't there yet. Let me put it to you that way. So, and I'm needing to keep this in this direction, or like so, until I get the mechanism part complete, okay? So our mechanism is going to be 1 inch by 1 7/8, and I'm gonna cut 2 of them while I'm there. That way, if I mess up, I have some already cut, okay? So this is gonna be our 1 7/8 side right here. Have our 1 inch. So we have a piece that's 1 by 1 7/8. Wait, is that right? Let's cut a piece that's 1 3/4. Okay, I think that's the one we need for our mechanism. Either way. All right. So we're going to keep the long side. We're going to go up. I need my pencil. I need a pencil, or something that you can use to make a little mark. never know. There we go. Nope, that's not my pencil. I got pencils all over this craft room and I can never put my hands on one when I need one. Does that ever happen to you guys? Here we go. So we need a mark at the 1 7/8, 7/8 inch, and then we're gonna need 1 7/8 inch here. Right, and then we are just going to do our little fold. So, got a little score action going. We're going to burnish that fold. Yeah, this is what I'm remembering from the video. Okay. And then, that's not right, that's right. And then we're going to pick a, I think it was 1 7/8. I think that's right. Pick a point. And then we're going to cut from here down to there. Cut on that line. Y'all, wish me luck on this. I am going to make this happen. What did I? All right. Okay. Now, if I remember, we're going to take this guy. All right. We're going to line this up with there. No, that's not right. I think that's right. We're going to line, so when we align this, we're going to line this point up with the top edge, and we're going to make sure that this is in flush with the score line. Okay, let me make sure I'm doing that right, y'all, because we just don't want to mess it up too bad, right? I think that's about right. Okay, but I want to make sure that I got it completely right. So yes. So we have this piece, and we're going to line up. We're going to line up this edge with the edge. Line up the edge with the edge. Okay? And then you're going to have a little bit of an overhang to begin with, right? But we can trim that part down. Okay? And then I need to make sure that this guy aligns with the center. Okay, Can you see what I'm doing? I can't even zoom in, y'all. Sorry about that. And then this side is butts up just against the score line, but does not go over the score line. And then we're just going to add some adhesive. Make sure it sticks. Make sure that stays down, and then any excess adhesive you're going to want to make sure you get that away, because you don't want to close your card down. Okay, all right, so you see that that's how that motion will go. Okay, now we are going to design our masterpiece here. So again, this is what we have so far. We're gonna have to do a little bit of trimming, but we'll wait and see what we have to do there, okay? All right, so now let's clear some stuff out of the way here. Let's grab our image, and I'm going to go with the smaller of the images, okay? One, so that there's less coloring that I have to do, right? But I'm thinking about how it'll fit. So we definitely want to make sure, so I'm going to use a smaller image in the bunch. There's no die for her, so we're going to have to do a little fussy cutting. Okay. Which is not a problem. All right. So let's do a little quick coloring here. Let's make her hair. Okay. Wild wheat is what we're going to use. She's going to be a little bit of a blonde. Right. So we got that. I started with the dark. I'm going to go in with the light lemon lolly. So there we have our blonde. Then I go back in with the dark because I wanted to give a little bit more definition. So we're Christmas, so I want her, we're going to go in and make her, ooh. I have a metallic shimmer pen. If I can find that. I want to give her like silver pants. Well, just because that's what I want to do doesn't mean that that's what I'm going to be able to do. That is what I want to do. I want her to have silver pants. Alright, so I have a silver jelly roll pen. So that's what we're going to give her. We're going to give her some sparkle pants. Sparkle jeans. Just get this flowing a little bit, right? There we go. Just wanted to have some sparkly jeans. Right, there we go. Then we're going to give her a sparkly red top as well. Because I like sparkle. I love the sparkle. I'm going to go with the green. And I'm going to change to green just because red is like the prominent color that we have on our project. So I'm going to go with green instead. Ooh, baby. A whole lot came out of that one. All right, y'all. All right, so let's color her top, and we're going to go give her a green top. She's all kind of sparkling today. And then we are gonna get our skin done. And then we're gonna use a gray just to give the cat a little bit of color. Just a little bit. Now we don't have too much skin. So we just want to make this somewhat quick. Don't forget the ears. I almost always forget the ears when I'm coloring the face. Alright. Gonna do a little coloring on the kitty. And we're just gonna do a little bit of an outline. Because we want her to be I want her to be a white cat. And the way that I can show white especially with using white cardstock, is use like a lighter blue or a gray so that you can see that it is a white cat. Alright. What else do I want to do here? I have a whole bunch of jelly roll pens. Give color. And for the sake of expediency, I'm coloring all the bowls the same color. Normally I wouldn't. It would make my packages be a little bit different. Okay. that's what we got for now, and we're not going to really add anything else. I'm going to set this aside for a little bit so that it can dry. Actually, I'm going to heat set it because I don't want to waste that much more time. All right. Now we're just going to go in and we're going to do a little bit of fussy cutting here. Okay. Can't believe the years. Can you believe 2023 is almost over? You guys, it seems like just yesterday. Absolutely seems like yesterday that we were in finishing the year, starting the year. And now, I mean, we are like, what is today? We're like 32 days, or 31 days really, away from 2024. Isn't that amazing? Oh boy. January 3rd of last year, I was starting my new job. So January 3rd of 2024, I will have been 1 year at the city of Austin, which is where I work. I do work for the city. I work at the courthouse. And you guys, the other thing that's happening in 2024 is I will have finished my paralegal program, certificate program. I plan on being finished by summer next year. I got a class and a half left to take, I believe. And then I will be done. Yes. Now, what am I going to do with that after? God only knows. And, you know, I am actually literally waiting for the good Lord to let me know what I need to do with that paralegal certificate, okay? He put me on the path, and I was definitely, you know, I was interested in the program, in the subject, and, but now it's just kind of trying to figure out what it is I want to do with it. Do I want to stay at the courthouse? And, you know, or what do I want to do? Lots to think about. Lots to think about. So I would definitely, if I didn't really have a clear cut idea of what I was doing today, but definitely I would definitely have pre-done, pre-stamped, pre-colored most of these items for you, so that you really wouldn't have to watch me fussy cut. I do try to do all of that. So if you are watching on the replay, you really could fast forward through the fussy cutting piece if you don't want to watch that. Or not, you could stay and listen to that as well. Your call. I will not feel slighted in the least if you decide you did not want to watch me fussy cut. All right. Alright, so we've almost finished fussy cutting this out. I tell ya, I thought I just had allergies, y'all. believe it's called sinusitis. Is that right? Yeah. I went to the doctor's the other day for an appointment, and he's like, "How are you doing? The previous note said you had this. How's that going?" I said, "Oh, I'm fine. I'm breathing fine." He's like, "Okay, well, let me just take a look." Y'all, one of my nostrils, he was like, "Oh, that's more than 50% occluded." Do you know what occluded means? It's blocked. And I didn't even notice that. That's the thing about us, about a lot of folks, you guys. We have issues with our health, right? For the most part. But, let me see. Oh, I have to think about this now. Hold on. Gotta go back to the video so she tells me what to do. So the other thing that you're going to need is you're going to need a piece of acetate, right? Now I've cut a piece of acetate right here, and let me tell you what this is from. You're going to need a piece of the thicker one. So if you, hold on, let's see what's going on here. Oh, what did she do here? All right, hold on. I was talking and I missed it. So she's got this like this. And I'm watching TDM Smith. That is the YouTube video that I'm watching. It's a video from 4 years ago. So it's like this. So it's going to be like that. Okay. Well, I'm gonna hope this works, you guys. Yep. And then let's bring this guy right back in here. So all we're gonna do is now we're gonna line this up even, Steven, and make sure it's lined up perfectly. Here we go, like so. And then we'll let that burnish in like that. And then got this. And then what is she gonna do? So this is gonna have to go on here somehow, right? Okay, here's what I need to do before I do anything else. Hold on. I need a paper clip because I'm going to paper clip this so I can see what's going on. Okay, because I have not attached this guy yet. So I'm going to make sure, I'm going to temporarily tack this guy down, right? And so if we put this here, we don't want that guy to come out. We don't want anything to see it there, right? I need another paper clip. I need another paper clip. Let's just grab a whole handful while we're here. So what I want to do is we got that paper clipped onto there. And let's put this here. I want to paper clip this here as well. Ugh, that's not going to work. Yes, it is. And I'm paper clipping it because I want to see what's going to happen if it's going to work the way I think it's going to work. Ha! Do you see that? Do you see she's coming? Okay, so now I know that I want this. So I'm going to angle it. So that's the thing that I'm trying to figure out, right? Because at the end of the day, when this comes up, I want her to sit at the top, right? But it's got to be down enough so you can't see it. And then when it's down, she sits up like this. So there you go. That's what I want to see happen. So now I know almost where this goes and how it goes. Okay. Leave that there. I'm gonna grab a piece of tear and tape. Oh, I was telling you where I got this from. If you get the Stampin' Up cases that the dies come in, you guys, I just cut a piece of that off, and that's what I used for my mechanism piece right there. Okay. That is all I used for my mechanism piece. Okay. So now I'm just going to put this right on here. Right. And I'm going to grab this. Oops. And then again, just trying to remember, right? Okay. So if we have that there, she's hidden there, and then when she comes up, she'll sit just like that. Amazing! So on that particular piece, you're going to have to do a lot of playing around just to make sure it sits where it needs to sit, okay? So now we also know that can't be there. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put a little mark right where I know this guy's supposed to go back, because that's exactly where I want this. And then I'm gonna go right back in with a little bit more tear and tape. I am so glad that you guys are sticking with me as I learn this card. Now, it's not hard. Is it time consuming? Absolutely. Is it time consuming? It absolutely is. And it's only time consuming because you got to do a little bit of measuring to make sure that things are where you need them to be when so that they pop up accordingly. Yeah, we don't want that there. All right, so that's gonna go like that. And then something happened. What happened here? Okay. I think this is what happened. Okay. I know what happened there. Let's move this a little bit. It's a good thing nobody's going to see that side, isn't it? It is a good thing no one's going to see that. Let that dry. And then the last thing we are going to do is we have to add our sentiment, y'all. And I'm making this as simple as possible. I didn't do a lot of extras because it's the first time that we are making this card. Dang it. What's going on, little one? Let's try that and see. Perfect. There we go. All right, so there we go. And we don't need to trim anything. So the next thing we're going to do, yes I do, I need to trim that part. You see it? So we're just going to trim this, turn this over, and trim that off. Stuck. There we go. Perfect. All right. Whew. This was definitely a learning experience for us, y'all. And now we are going to put us as some adhesive. And I'm going to go with the Caron tape again. You just need a very strong adhesive, y'all. For me, typically that's liquid glue, but you can use Caron tape, the red tape, as long as it is a strong adhesive. Okay. So we're going to put this guy right here. Burnish that guy in. So we take him off. And then the last thing we're going to add is we're going to add our sentiment, and then this card will be done. Make sure this is closed, lined up, adhere. And there you go. Now you can add other mechanisms. And so now I know that this is where this is. I want a sentiment that's just going to go right there. All right, let's see what we got in the stamp set. That we think can fit right there. That's exactly which one I'm going to do. All right. Now, do I want to emboss on white? that's what I'm gonna do. Sometimes it comes to you. Alright, so where's our embossing buddy here? Grab our embossing buddy. Okay. Grab our Versamark. Make sure we ink our Versamark up. Ink our stamp, I should say, not our Versamark. Well, I had planned to stay with you guys till 9:30, and you guys, I am coming in like a champ. Alright, and we're going to stamp our sentiment on here. Alright. There we go. And, oops, I need the gold. I was going to put silver, but everything is gold. So let me grab my gold embossing powder. That's brass. Let me grab my gold embossing powder. Go ahead and heat emboss that. Perfect. Now that we've got that, so when this guy pops up, then we're going to have this little sentiment that's here that says, "There's a Merry Christmas in the making." I love it, I love it, I love it. All right, so let's trim this off and then give ourselves a beautiful finish. Alright, so with our trimmer, well, we know that it's 5 1/4, and we went down 1/8, right? So we need this to be 5 inches. I'm probably going to trim it down a little bit more than 5 because that was just a joke right there. So, and I don't want it to be that much. So we're at 4 1/2 right now. And let's see, let's go to 4 1/4. Okay, that should be plenty. And then just gonna give this a little bit more of a nice edge. We want to banner it. So let's find our banner punch. And I'm using the Banners Pick a Punch. And I want this end right here. Okay. So I stick it in there. I make sure I'm looking at it from this side. Right? I'm going to do the same thing on this end. And I'm looking at it from this side to make sure it's lined up as even as I can get it. Okay? Now, here we go. That's it, you guys. Now, I was going to put some dimensionals on that one, but I wasn't sure how it would, when it's coming up, the lady, the mechanism, if it would get stuck on the dimensional or not. So I just decided that I would just put it flush against with no no dimensionals. Okay. And there we have it. When our mechanism is down, we have a little saying that there's a Merry Christmas in the making. Then she comes up and she's made her gifts. Now I kept this as simple as possible. I'm going to put a piece of basic white or a little sentiment somewhere. You can write even right here. And there you go. All right, you guys, this was fairly quick. Well, it was a long card, but it was fun to make. I am probably going to make another one. Don't forget to check out the blog post that's for Saturday, December 2nd. I will have this card. You will see how I made the card, and I might actually have the opportunity to make some additional cards with this design as well. Alrighty, guys. Thank you guys for joining us here today in the craft room. I really appreciate your company. Don't forget to give this video a like, share it with your friends and family. If you're watching the replay, comment hashtag replay and let me know where you're watching from. Thank you guys for watching tonight. Have a great evening and happy stamping.